in the answer. Got my point? So that understanding is very important, right? Because answer is should be right well and appropriate answer. Okay. So you are saying correct, okay? Because and if I say marks of the student, so those are all type are the integer type. Yeah. So if I want to access array values, how to access array values? How to access? How to access array values? Right? Is whatever I typed it, I think I think it's about to access next. Okay. So array type value, how to take it? Right? Suppose if I have created table and I have my field name is array is sub my array field. So suppose I want to write a select query. So how I can write? How to get the data? Index, right? I will give the index. So index start from zero, right? So 0, 1, 2, whatever index. So it will give the individual value of your array. Okay. So particular value. But if you want all the values, so don't give the index. So like this, you write your table, right? So it will give the all the values in the uh, complete array values, all the complete. How to access struct? Can anyone tell how to access struct? Suppose I want to access the city. So how can I write city? How to get city? Just I write city like this. Will it work? It will work. The city, if I write it, will work. How to access the city? Well, it's not a simple data type, right? We cannot write city and then the data will come, right? If ID can come, name can come, but wherever you are find this complex data type, right? Arrays, map, stuff, you have to use the array. We have to use index like this, about value 0, and this one we have to use object add and dot city. Okay, so like this we'll get. If I say I want to access map value, like I want to find the one 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 input data is my PF. Okay, I want to get the value of PF. So what I do, DUD is my map name. Okay, and the square bracket I will give PF. The PF amount I want to get, so I will get like this. If I have another map p value pair, so I will give that one. Okay? So this is the way to access. Okay. Now next thing I'm going to tell about what is the serde. Okay, right? What is the different file format data? Because hive is this is just we are talking about the text file format data. The text file format data is a human readable data, right? We can read the data, right? We are writing the data from the file, and these files are the text file. So when I'm writing this text file data in the table, so that is also text, right? Okay, and default file format is stored as a text. Okay, it's stored as text, right? We don't need to write that. It is a text file. Okay, but when I say I want to create a different other file format data, so how to do? So there is in hive supports like Avro file format, CS3, Avro. Okay, so there are the record format. So what are the record formats are there? CSV type, CSV data you can write, JSON data you can write, XML data you can write. So you can write even the different files you can write as a record format, you can write in the types. Right? And some other compressed type also there. Those are the file format type. The file format types are Avro is the one, okay, and parque, parque and ORC. These are the other three file format type, which is mostly used in the file. And Now, what is the difference? The CSV, JSON, XML we know because CSV is like we can say CSV is a comma delimit, right? So we already know about the CSV. JSON is a key colon value type, key colon value, okay, like the key colon value comma, then key colon value. So like this, we define the JSON form. This is the JSON form. Everybody has seen the JSON, and XML is like in the tags, right? I say EMP is the tag, and then EMP ID, and then EMP ID has the ID value, and 01. And then EMP ID tag will be closed, then EMP name, another tag, EMP name, EMP name, and then we have that's, and then EMP name. Like this kind of data and EMP, we are ending the EMP. So this is 2 hive. Okay. So this is the 3 different file record formatted. But what is Avro, Parque, and ORC? Okay, these are compressed file format. First of all, these are compressed file format. And what is the compression label? If I say Avro is the less compressed, like we start from the highest. So ORC is highest compressed, then Parque, then Avro. Okay. And if I say Avro comes in the category of row-oriented file format. Row-oriented file format. What is meaning row-oriented? Like data is stored in the row-oriented manner, like a SQL databases, right? So row-oriented manner, data is inserted. Data is stored in file. Okay. So Avro is a file format. So one schema is attached. Schema is attached with the file. Okay. Sometimes this schema is separately there, like the .absc extension, absc, Avro schema file, Avro schema file. Okay. Sometimes in the, like suppose I say my file name is a test.avro. Okay. So in this file, the top header part is schema. Okay. It's schema. But if sometimes the test.avro, the top header part not schema, so there is a separately absc file is there. So it is a row-oriented file format. Okay, and special use of Avro is schema evaluation support. What is this schema evaluation support? Evaluation support means whenever you are adding a new column or removing column, adding column or removing column from your schema, your existing data will not be impacted. Your existing data will not be impacted. It means like for existing data, suppose you added new column. For this column, your file has your existing data, the file, your existing data in file will be null. So this kind of special feature, this is called the schema evaluation support. But if I say Parque and ORC, they support, but they are supporting partially, not fully. So what it means partially? So Parque and ORC is supporting schema evaluation partially. Means here you can add column or delete column at the end of the schema, not in the middle or anywhere else. So that's one like limitation is there. So that is the reason it is called partially. Okay. The Parque and Avro, Parque and ORC is supporting partially. So, but another the benefit is there in the parque and ORC, that is it is faster to read. The parque and ORC both are columnar file format. So there are two types of scenarios, right? Row oriented and column oriented. The column oriented, like I can say the where the data is read in a column oriented manner. Because data is there in the file in the column oriented. Like one column has the entire row data. Like that. So both are columnar file format and it is faster to read. So generally Avro we can say faster to write. So Avro is faster to write. Is faster to write. And column oriented is faster to read. But Parquet is good performance, right? Parquet is good performance. Parquet and ORC both. And ORC is a default file format for the Hive. So if we are using ORC is good for both reading and writing, but ORC is like compressed, higher compressed, because we already discussed, right? ORC is highly compressed. ORC is highly compressed than Parquet. Okay. So if I have a choice, okay, parque or ORC, which should I use? So I will choose the in Hive ORC. Right? Both are supported, but ORC is the choice to store file format for file data. Yeah. This is a like a common file format, right? So we should know. And now question comes the usual way what we do. We create a table and we give the load data local path command. We can load the data only for simple table like text file format data we can do. But if the data is a JSON or XML, CSV data is fine. But CSV also a one category. If the data is a double quote separated, we cannot do. So simple data is there. Suppose I say my file is ID, name, city, date. Okay. And I have a value ID, name, city, XYZ, and age. So like this data is possible. Okay. But if I say the same data, if I write it in the double quote form, like I have a data, like specifically double quote is there, or sometimes I have in this double quote, I have a some like first name, last name, I test ABC. So I need to use the double quote, right? Because if I'm not using the double quote, so my format will be wrong, right? So here, the double quote format I'm giving for my data. So this kind of data will be not read directly by normal. Right? We have to use here open CSV set. Open CSV set. If I have a JSON file, so JSON file is using JSON serde. So serde is called serialization deserialization. Serde is serialization deserialization. This is a process of serialization deserialization. This is a general term serialization deserialization, right? Like serialization is the process of making the like our data into the byte array. And deserialization is the reverse process, like making a byte array to our original data. So this is supporting in the Java, Python. So different libraries are there in the Python. Pickling, depickling is there, and Java is having the serialization, deserialization. So this is actual meaning of serde. So here is the we are different file format data. We are using the different serdes. So if I have a CSV file like this, okay, so we use serdes, open CSV serdes. So some serdes like already provided by Hive, but some serdes are not provided by Hive, so we have to use some external dependency job. Okay, JSON, we have a JSON serde. So you remember, right, row format. serde class you give, right? Row format delimiter. Okay. So you provide a row format or serde class, you will provide some org, Apache, some JSON serde. Okay, I will show you Apache JSON, something like serde. So this serde class will be, we will use in the create table syntax. So first of all, we have to create a table as a serde type. Second one is we have to load the data into the table as usual we do, load data local path command, and then we can query the column, right? We can query the data. Right? So the first thing is like when we are creating a table, that time we define the what serde we are going to use. Okay, so if I have a suppose XML file, so we have to use XML serde. For XML file, there is a XML serde. Okay. If we have like a suppose parque data is there. So parque data we have to use stored as parque. So there is no serde class, but stored as parque we write. Whenever we want to write a data as a parque file form. If it is a ORC, we will say stored as ORC. If it is a Avro, stored as Avro. So if your table is a if you create a table as a parquet type and you want to write a parquet data, so parquet data we cannot directly write, like generally we use load data command, you cannot write. So you have to write some source data in some table, source table, and source table when you write insert into table, then you can write the data into parquet table, it will automatically become parquet table. Okay. So these particular three, we cannot load the data directly. So we have to use the source table option, okay, especially parque, ORC, and app. Other file format, JSON, CSV, and this XML, we can directly load. But parque, ORC, Avro, these file format, load, we have to use table, source table, and use insert into table command, insert into table command to write into target table, target like parque, ORC, ORC, Avro table from source table. Yeah. So that step we know, right? The source, how to populate, just create a source and insert into table, you can write the data. So automatically your data will become particular type of data. But before that, you have to create a table as stored as parquet. So when you are writing a create table syntax, right, like this create table syntax, and in the last you say store as parquet. So this data, whatever data you are loading, right, in this table, it will be a parquet. Okay, it's clear this one. So we start first JSON file format. Okay, we understand how to write JSON file format data. So we download the dependency jar. This is the like dependency jar. Okay. So we download the jar. Anyone has any question? Or good? Yeah, taking example of json serde. Okay, we'll see example serde. Download the jar. This are already here. This jar we can keep it in some folder because when we are using in Hive, we have to use add jar command to use the jar in my session. So there are two ways. One is you can you can directly copy the jar in the lib folder, or you can use uh, keep it jar in the sublocation and use that location to use the add jar command. So I kept it jar here, one jar folder. So I have downloaded the jar. You will get the zip there, and you have to get the jar. This one, just insert it like okay, this jar. So this jar, this particular jar path, I will take it. So I will start the hive first because I have to take it this path and have to add jar. Because if I want to use the jar, so I have to provide the dependency. I have to add the jar in my path. First, I start hive. Add jar. Hit the jar and it will be adding in your It's a jar. The next thing is the jar is added. Okay, add jar to nine. And I will create some input file. So suppose my input file is this test of testing. I will create this is from this link, same link. So I can import it. I need to create a table. I have a title, so I should have the table. So I have to give, this is the external table I'm creating. This is the external table. So I should use the database and create some table. So now, here, this is first step I did add jar command. So this is my create table. This is my this is I can give any directory path where I want to keep it in my file. So I will copy the text of JSON, this file I created. And before this file, I get the add jar and then add jar. So you change your directory location. Here you go jar, jar. So this you have to do on the right side. Have to create a test or JSON. Then type there is this one and create a table. This is the table like creating external table and two columns there. This table. So if this table is created successfully, so there is data in this table or not? Data is loaded or not? The test.json we created here. This one test.json we created. This one. This data we have loaded or not yet? Hmm? Here. Hmm? The data is not there, right? I have just created table on it, right? If this location, the file is already present, then the data will be loaded. Suppose if I keep it file on this location, so I don't need to load the data. If I do Hadoop access post command, I already told about this thing. Copy the file, the location. If I put the file on the location is json 123. Now I put the file. Now I don't need to load the data because now if I do select star from table, now data will come. Just in the scope 2. Or otherwise you can do load data local path command. Now you are getting the two columns. One column is a text string and number string. Two columns are there. The first value of the JSON data, if you see here, cat text.json, you are getting the first is a column name text. Second column name is a number. So text column name value is coming in the text column and number column data is coming in the number, right? You can see here, right? Even you can print the header also if you want to print. There is a hive CLI header command is there. We can print the header. So we can print any header. So hive it will be like you don't need, you will get the header on the top. If you run this, but this is in the session. Till the session is there, it will be there. Now if you do select start from table, now you get the header. So first column is coming header. This column is coming, but it is coming along with table name. But this is the first column. This is the second column, right? So now your data is parsed and you are getting the data in the JSON. So this is an example of like when you have the JSON, but this is not a nested JSON. This is a very simple JSON. Like what is a nested JSON? Like you have a one column, this JSON, and you have another JSON inside the JSON. Like that kind of JSON is called nested or array. Sometimes array is there, right? Different array field is there in the JSON. So that kind of scenario is also. Okay, let me show you one more example. You will come to know here the nested. If you see this is the array or not, square bracket, right? This is the array, right? Square bracket values are there. So if this kind of data is there, this you have the this kind of example is the file. If you click on this, it is the file. It's the same file. So you can copy this one. Now we are going to prepare the data for this type of project. So I say vi nested dot this. So I'm preparing the nested dot this one. So if I see the nested this data, I have to write it into the nested JSON table. So I have to, whenever I'm creating a table for this nested, so nested one is the table when you are creating the table. So in the create table command, you will be using like complex data type. Here is a complex data type will come in picture. So if you see one is a Boolean type, second column 3 is a array type, 2 is a double type value, and 4 is a string type. So one is a complex data type values are there. We need a table or nested JSON. So after this, what you did, Hadoop FS put command you can use, or you can like test.json file you will put into this JSON to locate. After that, we will select no, just a minute. If you are going to do second example, the data is look like this. It's also nested JSON. So here, the same thing we are going to do here, but now we don't need to do this again, right? Because this is only one thing. Next is we have to create a table. We have to same process we have to follow, create table. And here is we have to change here the format, right? Because here we have to change. Here is a row format serde class. You remember this is the class. This class is basically parsing your data. And now this table you say nested. Some table, different table name you say nested JSON table. And now you can say the location is you can say nested. Or if you want to do internal table, so don't give this location. You can, it will be, if you're not giving location, so it will be there. Because this is the external table, that is the reason it is location located. You create internal table like this. Okay. So you will be creating a table in hive. Now, which way you would like to do? Like Hadoop FS put command, so you have to find the exact location of the table, right? And that you have to do Hadoop FS ls command and check or show create table you can do to see what is the internal table location. Show create table. Oh, next step, let's go to this. This is the location. If you want to put the file, put it in this location. Otherwise, you can go for normal scenarios like you can go like load data local path command. You can write the local name and give the location where the file is there. File name is nested. So just make sure your file name is correct. And into table, default mode is append mode. So into table and table name is nested. Let's go with this. Type test 3. Okay. Now I will do select command for this. Create table. Then instead underscore this one, this is my can you see here? Now suppose if I say I want to get the index this three is my column name, 3 of 0 if I go. So I will get red, pink color. So I will say so, one I want to print, two I want to print, one column, two column, 3 of I gave 0 value and the 4 column. So I will get 3 of 0 because it is an index I'm giving, so that is the reason it is not taking the column name. So what you can give as column name. Not okay. Is it clear this one? This one? Okay, so this way we can do like guessing data. XML, like when we are doing XML, so XML serde class is there, so XML serde we can do. Let's see other example. I already shown you. So some more complex type you want to create, you can try this one, right? So just remember this low format serde, you use whatever serde class and because newer version, this OpenX is not there. And this is the data for this. You can use. Okay. If I want to create an Avro file, so now we try one Avro, Parque, and ORC because these three are same type. So suppose I'm creating a table as a Parque type and I'm getting a data from employee or any other table, right? So this is the one way you can populate the data in the table from other table. This is a command. Like, okay, if I say create table, some say Parque stored as Parque as select, so I can take it. Suppose this one I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 column from nested JSON. From nested JSON table I want to create one this Parque. So when I create table, okay, column name I'll give in common. Name of the topic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what data will come in this Parque table? It will be a Parque format. Okay, let's see first that this is the internal table is creating. Okay, so we will see the location of the table and just check the data, the Parque extension data, and this is compressed. But this is the way we are doing, like we have already table and we are populating the table. But suppose if I say I want to create a new table, table we take it without JSON format. First, this is like so just I'm creating a mini table which has three columns, name, gender, age, and it is stored as a path. So internally data will be stored as a path. But now in this table, I cannot load data directly. So I have to create some source table. The source table, okay, getting the source data. Next is row format delimited, please terminated by data source table and load data local in path and the data. Give my file first in the source. Just need the source on populating data into this test into the source table. And the run just terminal. And so um, you it correct. So so loading data. So data is one. Now we will load the data from our network, from our source to park. So insert into select star from table into parque table. So I will load the data into this parque from text underscore source. So once the data is loaded, verify it. But we cannot see directly the data. Only table we can see the data, but directly the context. Now, if I see select that one in the store, Can you see the data is there? And total. Check the location data. Data plus ls. Okay, file. It will try to check the this is compressed. Okay. So when you are doing select query command, you are able to see. Okay. So we were trying here. Now if we try here from the this table, select star from test source. So directly we can get the data also. Because this problem is a JSON. So if we try this one, create table, this one, and this is a different table. We are creating a new table stored as parque as select star from test source. Same data, but different table we are populating. When I'm running this function. So create table, you can directly create a table with the data. Okay. Or you have a table created first. Okay. The same command, create table, table name, right? The same command you are using here. And then populate the data later. Okay. So insert into table command you can use. So insert into you can say, and you can say let's start from table or create table command. But in this create table, it will create a schema and load the data. It is loading data, inserting data, and existing. Tomorrow I will show the examples of XML one and OpenCS. We will see the example. And one is a regular expression serde. Suppose I want to read the data from the log files, and that we will do tomorrow. also getting the same data. Okay. Let's connect tomorrow. I will upload it. Okay. And I will upload it.